Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Fed Up, your no BS nutrition podcast. I'm your host, Kayla Marie, certified personal trainer and nutrition specialist, working with clients since 2014. After swimming up diet culture's bullshit stream for so many years, I am fed the absolute up with how miserable it's making people feel when we are supposed to be getting healthier. This podcast is here to help you gain your sanity back so you can stop yo-yoing once and for all and finally learn how to trust yourself so you can enjoy food again without fear or shame while still getting to your health goals. My aim is to teach you how to detect the BS in not just the food and diet industries, but in all realms of life, because I know that, like me, we are all just a little fed up. So without further ado, let's dive into today's episode. Okay, so I want to ruin the concept of discipline. And if you've been listening to my content for any time now, you will see that I often redefine or re-envision what discipline can look like. And often we see convenience as sort of an antithesis of discipline. Not necessarily consciously, but we often will forsake things that are convenient, right? And we cut those things out because we have to do things the hard way, the long way, and essentially make things really intense. And I want to challenge you that it's not about intensity. It's way more about consistency, which we talk about a lot. And what is consistency? It's doing it most weeks of the year, not every single day for 30 days straight, and then not again for 11 more months. So I want to remind you that when I talk about discipline, I'm not talking about like the bodybuilder version. So let's redefine it, shall we? Shall we? Because I don't want you to think of convenience as the opposite of discipline. I want you to use convenience to make discipline possible. You capiche? You follow? You dig? All right, let's dive in. So the image that we all hear when it's, we need to just be disciplined. It's what my clients say all the time. Well, I just need to be more disciplined. It's because they feel bad that they overcommitted and underdelivered. They said they were going to come to the gym 5 days last week and they only came 3 times. Well, I just need to be more disciplined. Or they tried to come 3 times and they only came 1 time and they feel undisciplined, right? Or, okay, I have to wake up earlier. I have to meal prep. I have to hit the gym every day, or I'm going to go for a run every day, or I'm only going to eat like salads and healthy, clean food, right? No. Discipline is not turning your life on its head and making everything inconvenient. That's not what discipline even calls for. So let's actually look at what discipline could look like for you. It could look like doing the unglamorous, unremarkable thing consistently, like eating breakfast. That's a very quote unquote basic. The level to entry, shall we say, is lower than maybe going to the gym every day. So start there, and you'd be surprised by how much like proving to yourself that you can eat breakfast every day. And now you have the power to think about it because you have fuel in your body, and you can actually think about what other micro things that you can add and you can do and you can keep doing boringly, consistently, right? From year to year, month to month, week to week. So if discipline is what you can kind of build through systems, through accountability, through structure, versus making it about like a virtue, making it a moral thing. You're not a bad person for skipping your workouts. You're not a bad person for liking bad food, right? We often will say like, oh man, I'm just such an addict and like I crave sugar all the time and honestly, we take that upon ourselves a lot of the time. A lot of clients that I've talked to will speak poorly on foods, but then they also have this really negative self-image. And again, they think they just need more discipline to cut it out, to stop the cravings. And lo and behold, real psychology says the exact opposite. You need to reverse psychology yourself in allowing full permission to eat those scary, terrible foods that are so bad for you. When you're allowing yourself to actually eat those foods, you stop craving them and then you stop binging them, and then they're just like a normal food. So if you're moralizing food and you're moralizing yourself, and the solution that you've come up with is you need more discipline. I again want to reframe, is the discipline about not eating the sugar, or is the discipline actually eating lunch? You dig? You see where I'm coming from here. So real discipline doesn't have to do with intensity. It's not about doing the most, the fastest, starting tomorrow and doing it every single day, right? And you can keep things like in your back pocket that are convenient so that you actually continue with the habit that you're trying to form. You actually try to incorporate the convenient things that you know would make everything else fall better into place, right? So if you know that discipline of actually eating breakfast is going to give you the energy to work out during your 2-hour lunch hour, which you always say that you're going to, but you end up not, maybe you should start with eating breakfast. Not, I need to go to the gym every single day at lunch. And then, like, you're tired and you're fatigued. So I hope that you can kind of see where maybe the discipline is like going to bed on time and turning off the phone. Like, nobody wants to actually do that, but they like want to go get a coffee enema up their butt. Like, why do we want to do the most extreme thing when a lot of the time it's the smaller things that will actually add up to bigger changes? But I digress. I want you to have full permission to use convenience to make the disciplined choice. When you use frozen vegetables, it's not because you're, like, I know, I hear so many people try to justify it. They're like, well, I know they're not fresh, but I mean, and I'm like, no, they're in your fridge. They don't go bad, less food waste. You don't have to worry about the spinach in your bag being moldy, right? And then you're like, shoot, now we don't have a salad for dinner. So frozen vegetables are not less than, they don't need justification. They are actually nutritionally better or even just comparable to fresh. But regardless, when you are looking at how you operate day to day, find those sticky points. My sticky point personally is I freaking hate soggy vegetables or moldy blueberries, right? So for me, having frozen options is really great because I can make them into purees and compotes. I can pour them into my cereal and oatmeals and things like that, right? So that type of convenience is not at all a bad thing. Even if you are buying pre-cut, pre-packaged, all of the things that maybe you feel like, oh, I should make this from scratch, or I should buy fresh, or I should make it organic, or anytime you want to justify it, bleh, no, stop, start over. You know what I mean? So like if you're getting a rotisserie chicken once a week and you're making it into 5 different meals because that's the most convenient thing you could do because you hate making chicken and or you're scared of making chicken and you don't trust yourself to cook it all the way and then you overcook it and then it tastes bad, buy the rotis. Make it convenient for yourself. But if you also want to slow cook a roast chicken and learn how to do that well, I also think that that is not discipline. That is something else entirely. And that's where I think it's really important as a baker and someone who loves to be creative and to make things from scratch and to show my love to my loved ones through food and through baking and through cooking. Balance doesn't mean balance between good and bad foods. Maybe it means balance between convenient foods and scratch foods. Maybe it means sometimes on a Sunday or every once in a while, once a month, once every other month, you have the joy and the patience to do a slow cooked roast chicken yourself, right? But like day to day running around, driving the kids to soccer practice, like buy the rotisserie chicken. Use the convenience where it matters because that's how you're actually going to be quote unquote disciplined, right? But being able to find joy in cooking a slow meal, in able to like take the long road, so to speak, that has nothing to do with discipline, but it should like bring joy in other ways, in presence, ritual, slowing down, and being able to be connected to what you're doing, especially food. That's what I think is important. I'm not saying make your bread from scratch because it's so much better for you and you just need discipline to make your bread from scratch. No, but like sometimes make your bread from scratch probably because it's good for you to do something with your hands, to do something that you're proud of, to be patient and wait for it to rise, to teach your kids how to be self-sustaining and make a good loaf of bread. Your whole house smells like bread. Like you can find other reasons to do these things that you maybe have interpreted in the past as like having discipline. And it just takes away all the joy. Like meal prepping out of discipline takes away all the joy in just like cooking on a Sunday and having some leftovers for the week. Right? Like it has a completely different connotation when you are disciplining yourself to eat the salad versus, oh, a fresh, crunchy, like it sounds really nice on a hot day. Like there's so many other reasons to buy and eat a salad. And yeah, you can make it a batch salad. And or you can friggin' make it from scratch. Or you can like garden and pick out your kale from your backyard. Or you can buy it from the store or a farmer's market. Like there is nothing wrong with however you choose to be fed. And sometimes that means convenience, the fast food, the frozen vegetables, the protein bar, the grab and go shake, whatever it may be. And other times you can choose the slow roundabout way of things. You can choose the salad, the gym, the activity that you're going to be doing because you can choose it out of a goodness in your heart and a desire, not out of like, I need to be better. And you're just like white-knuckling your way. And like, yeah, there is a type of discipline, right? Like just get up and do it or disciplining yourself. It can look so many different ways. But I think a lot of people discipline themselves out of a place of shame. And that's not gonna work. It's not going to work. So think about using convenience to actually be disciplined and to reframe some of those instances and behaviors and mindsets and processes that you interpret as disciplined versus not disciplined. And be surprised by what might be revealed to you because we don't all have to live like bodybuilders. I don't even think they have to really live that way. So I hope this just gave you some food for thought, no pun intended, and is able to just give you a new perspective on one, giving you permission to use the convenience when you need to, and two, what discipline can actually look like for you because it doesn't have to be out of like self-hatred. And again, like exceeding or setting yourself up with like these extreme expectations and then under delivering because you're just a human. So love you all. Chat at you next week. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks so much for being here, friends. If you enjoyed this episode, please screenshot and tag me over on Instagram or leave a 5-star review wherever you are listening from. Your support means the world to me and only helps me get the no BS news out to more people. If you're interested in working with me in nutrition or personal training, check out my programs and courses on my website at kaylamariefitness.com and on Instagram at kaylamarie_fit. See you next week.